Hi guys, Kiki Gaming with another video. Today we are going to cover a video about the new hero class, Thor. In this video, we'll dive into Thor's DPS build for PvE. The God of Thunder Thor is a melee physical skill damage dealer that can inflict massive amounts of wind element damage to nearby enemies, mainly with his hammer called Mjolnir. This video guide will cover everything you need to know, from stats, runes, gears, cards, oracle mirror, and relics, to guide you in optimizing your Thor character for PvE. Okay, now let's begin our video guide. First, for attribute point distribution, prioritize maximizing strength for increasing physical attack and to boost the upper limit of Thor's damage fluctuation. Next, max out luck, as well as it boosts the lower limit of Thor's damage fluctuation. As for the remaining attribute points, the allocation will largely depend on your chosen cards and gears. As an example, if you're using a Zenobia card in your garment, then it's more beneficial to put extra points on dexterity and intelligence to gain more skill damage. You may also want to put some points on vitality for a bit of survivability. Up next, let's take a look at Thor's runes. Maxing out his core passive skill to level 7 would be most optimal, as it increases the frequency of his attacks and prevents him from being interrupted while channeling skills. If you've already activated the second line effect of all his runes, then you may aim for a high first line value on the following runes. First is the Star rune for Lightning Gravity, which extends its casting range from 0.1 meters to up to 3 meters. Then we have the S rune for Storm Barrier, which increases the base shield value by up to 20% of his max HP. Next is the S rune for Thunder Power, which boosts Thor's strength and luck stats by up to 10 points. It's also nice to have high values for the star runes for Million Thunder and Storm Judgment to boost their damage output. As for the S rune for Charge, it is more PvP oriented, so it's of lower priority to aim for a high first line value. And for arcane runes, I recommend getting the White Blade rune, War Preparedness rune, and Bloody rune. Up next, let's dive into the recommended equipment set and cards. First, for weapon. Thor's exclusive weapon, Last Twilight, would be the best option since it doesn't only boost his offensive stats, but also his core passive skills damage. Additionally, its Tier 5 upgrade offers a 15% move speed boost whenever he is channeling his skills. His weapon should be enchanted with Morale 4 or Sharp Blade 4 and inlaid with Drake Star card. For offhand, I mainly prefer a Dragon Bone Shield with 18% physical damage as main equipment and Skeleton Bracer as shadow equipment. But if lacking Ignore Physical Defense, then just swap with Voodoo Blade or Rosa Chain. It should be enchanted with Armor Breaking 4 or High Physical Damage Increase stat, and inlaid with any of the following cards. For armor, you may either use a Dream Eater's Disguise with 20% elemental damage if lacking wind damage, or a Voodoo armor with 15% physical penetration or 20% damage to large size if lacking Ignore Physical Defense. As for the shadow equipment slot, you may use any of the following synth armors. It should be enchanted with Morale 4 and High Physical Damage Increase stat, and inlaid with Molten Colossus card, Poitata Star card, or Gloom Under Night card. For footgear, the options for main equipment are Dragon Slayer War Boots with 6% physical penetration, or Overlord War Boots with 6% physical damage. While for shadow equipment, you may either use the Little Fairy's Slippers or St. Mary's Cloth Shoes. Your footgear should be enchanted with high physical damage increase and inlaid with Swordsman Senia MVP card or any of the following card. For accessories, I recommend using Pendant of Ugin with 4.5% physical damage or Gold Earring with 4.5% penetration for the main equipment slot. As for the shadow equipment slot, my top options are Hermit's Bundle, Cat Paw Stamp, and Ring of Contract. All accessories should be enchanted with Sharp Blade 4 or High Physical Damage Increase stat, and inlaid with Devil Governor card, plus one of the following cards. For headwear, these are my top picks for each slot. Just choose depending on availability and the stat you're lacking. As for headwear enchantment, aim for Morale 4th enchant on your face and back items and Sharp Blade 4th enchant on your tail item. And for headwear card, the Machine Dragon Wing card would be the best in slot. Up next, here are the other upgrades that you can invest in to further boost your damage. For Oracle Mirror Extract, the options are Combustible Knife for physical penetration, Bilgi's Arm for damage to MVP, Chieftain's Axe for ignore physical defense, Claw for physical attack percent, or Wind Axe for wind damage. For Ancient Relics, you may equip the Lord of Vane, but personally I prefer using Horn of the Unyielding or Hill's Wing for improving survivability. So that's it for my Thor DPS build guide for PvE. Building Thor will definitely enhance your party's performance in PvE due to his unique monster gathering mechanics and high wind damage output that can scatter to multiple mobs randomly. Please like, share, and subscribe, and see you on the next video.